So on May 6th of 2019, the sun was shining, the sky was blue, clouds were that puffy white. It was a perfect spring day. I was walking back to my office, and my phone rang, and it was one of my lieutenants. I said, "Hey, John, how are you?" He said, "Sir, I'm good, but I've got some bad news." He said our executive officer died that weekend. We went back and forth. I said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" I asked him what happened. He said, "Sir, he killed himself."
Veteran aid is something that not many people view, but something that needs to be changed for the better in our country. After military members come home from service, they suffer from a range of things, from PTSD, substance abuse, homelessness, and sometimes just feeling like there's no purpose in living anymore. Yes, veterans do get paid little money from the state after service, and there are lots of helplines for them to contact people if needed online. But veterans need more help than that. You see, most veterans need financial help after the military because they either have kids to pay for or they got hospital bills to pay. They also need help dealing with their mental illnesses or substance abuse from either drugs or alcohol. I surveyed 60 people about their views on this topic, and their answers were pretty knowledgeable. 49 out of the 60 people said that we need more veteran help in the U.S., which is pretty promising. 14 of those 60 people have said that they personally know somebody that have struggled with substance abuse and or committed suicide. When asked who these people know in the military, 66.1% have said their grandparents, 25% have said their cousins, and just 7.1% have said that they don't know anybody in the military. And then there's a lot of separate answers with brothers, sisters, and etc. When asked if they were willing to give a little percentage taken out of their paychecks for veterans, the answers were pretty mixed, to say the least. Many have said yes because they deserve it, or because their family members or veterans need financial help, or they deserve the money more than me because they put their life on the line. And then there were a lot of responses that came up with a different plan, saying the government should just be using their own money on the veterans, or those with substance abuse should be given mental health mental health lessons instead of money, or we already have enough money taken out of our paychecks. That money should come from somewhere else. And then there were a chunk of answers that said just plain no. They take enough money out of our paychecks. I don't want any more money taken from me because I'm a teenager. I need all the money I can get, and the government should manage its money better. Getting better veteran aid is vital for these veterans. Since 2010, 65,000 veterans have died of suicide. 40,000 veterans are living homeless. 50,000 veterans are living with PTSD. And over 1 million veterans are suffering with drug and or alcohol abuse. I interviewed my grandpa, who is a veteran, and asked him two main questions. The first question was, do you know any fellow veterans that were close to you that have suffered from substance abuse or PTSD? His response was, well, kind of. Nothing happened to anybody close to me, but I was a sergeant for the Coast Guard, so I know what happened to other people and what the future was for those individuals. And it's sad, they fight for a country and they end up in a bad situation when they get home. The second question I asked my grandfather was, did you ever fear of getting injured while you were in the service or dealing with PTSD or substance abuse when you retired from the from the Coast Guard? His response was, well, you always have that thought what will happen today? What will life bring for us today? But besides busting people on the coast and just keeping the coast safe overall, and the bad storms, of course, living on the coast of North Carolina was amazing. I got to live here with my family. I wasn't in the Army, so it's not like I had to fear for my life that much. My life wasn't really threatened here, being a sergeant of the Coast Guard. But whenever I was in service, I didn't really think of getting hurt or dealing with PTSD. I just thought what I was gonna do for the day. How would I keep the U.S. protected? How would I keep this border protected? How would I keep the coast protected today? A plan to help veteran aid in the U.S. is to take a very little percentage out of every person's paycheck and give that fund toward the VA, also known as the Veterans Association, as the money will add up very quickly and give all that money towards the veterans. Also, the government should still give away the money that they already give to the VA for the veterans, so that there's enough money for all and enough money goes around to everybody. Also, the government should put veteran-only homeless shelters in every big city in America. And lastly, do something about the substance abuse and PTSD that soldiers suffer with. The government and VA should pay for those resources, and the veterans should have the ability to have in-person meetings with doctors and free rehab for substance abuse. And for those with PTSD, should have checkups weekly at the least. And the government should build a veteran-only assisted living for those with really harsh PTSD and for those who don't have any family to go home to, and those who desperately need help with living. Remember, it's not too late to help. Donate to any veteran organization and give the veterans the help they need.